Good morning. Welcome to Harbor Highlights.
On today's show, we have an unstoppable tip and a special report about a debated topic in school and about taking care of your trash at lunch.
This and more, so stay tuned.
Good morning, Harbor Lights. I'm Olivia.
And I'm also Olivia.
Please stand and join us in saying the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Report cards were posted last week.
Parents all have the Infinite Campus, but if you don't have computer access and need one printed, I'm sure your teachers could help you out.
Now over to this week's general announcements.
Hi, I'm Max.
And I'm Levi. Sign up for ski and snowboard trip this week Friday. Turn in your money for the bus to Mrs. Richardson by 11 a.m. on Thursday.
This Friday is the Purple Power fundraiser against cancer. We're going to have some big crowds to cheer on our Panthers and fight cancer.
Don't forget to work with your homeroom on 30 Random Acts of Kindness Challenge.
Calling All Colors meets next Monday.
Have you heard of CultureWorks? It's an amazing place with talented people who help you create some pretty awesome things.
Now is the time to sign up. There are forms in the office for middle school. They pick you up after school on Tuesday, and the class offerings are 2D animation using new software called Anime Studio.
They also have Beats and Brushes, where you find the relationship between music and visual art designs, and the last class is ceramic. Learn how to throw some clay on the wheel.
If you have questions, there's contact information on the back of the form. Rides home after school are also available if needed.
Now back to the anchors.
In last week's PBIS lesson, we saw a great example of how someone overcame an obstacle rather than making excuses. He used it as fuel to drive him to do better and be better.
Our unstoppable tip today are some strategies to help you end excuses.
When you are about to make an excuse, catch yourself and ask yourself a couple questions.
What is it I'm really afraid of? Am I comparing myself to others rather than focusing on what I can do?
What will taking responsibility say about my character and help me learn what to do better next time?
Rather than choose an excuse, create habits of persistence and confidence to reach your goal.
We can't help but show this again. Sometimes we see stories of famous people and maybe we think, well, that's them. But do you know we have our own West Ottawa stories of greatness?
Students who overcame challenges and didn't make excuses.
Listen to West Ottawa graduate Jonathan Mao talk about how he achieved against the odds.
Today is the day, class of 2013. We all should be proud of all that we've accomplished these past 4 years. The journey may have been difficult, but here we are, proof that we are capable of facing any challenge. In my own experiences, life, in all aspects, was never easy. Home was never a place of solace for me. To me, it was as if I was living amongst strangers. A mother is widely regarded as the epitome of care and unconditional love. But to the mother I knew, I was an unwanted child, an abomination. I have not known a mother to be anything but abusive, unsupportive, and spiteful. There are arguments between family members, always with yelling, threats, and sometimes more. I was separated from my parents by a language barrier, as they spoke Cambodian and I understood little. My family did not have much money, but we were able to make it through, even if TV dinners and ramen were all there was to eat. I was also a sickly child, always in and out of the emergency room, but I thought life could be okay if there was not much more I had to deal with. With all this, I had at least one person to get me through it all. My role model in life is my grandmother, who has been through more than I could ever imagine. She grew up in poverty in Cambodia, working hard to provide for more than 8 children. She has lived through war and genocide, witnessing all of its horrors. With every war, there are losses, and her loss was the death of all of her siblings and her own parents. She escaped to the U.S. with her children and my grandfather. My grandmother discovered a completely new world, and despite all obstacles, worked hard to make sure life was possible for her family in this country. She has done the same for me, giving me love and care, dedicating all of her time to me and my siblings. She had no obligations to save me from an abusive mother and show me what a family should be like, But she did it all, even when she could have lived a much easier life had she not. She helped me realize the value of an education she never had the chance to have, and showed me how to endure pain and continue to live on, even when giving up is all that I wanted to do. And here I am today, a child from an abusive, low-income, and uneducated family on the road to a top academic institution. I want you to know that anything is possible if you put your mind to it. There are so many opportunities offered to us that we can take advantage of and foster our intellectual, athletic, and artistic pursuits. This school has given me and many of you opportunities to achieve success. As we move forward, there will be a whole world out there for us. From here on out, we will all discover a new reality, and there may be problems that arise, but all of them can be dealt with. Instead of allowing them to bring you down, grow from them. Giving up should never be an option. I know that there are many of you here today that have had the misfortune of facing similar or comparable adversity in life. It may be an abusive parent, the loss of a loved one, difficulty with finances, or health issues, but no matter what it is, it can be overcome. All of these problems are problems I've dealt with in my life, and this is how I think of them. Let the person who never loved you be thanked for being the perfect example of something you refuse to become. Let the loved one that has passed away be your reason for doing something extraordinary in their honor. Let the lack of money be your reason to achieve more and fulfill your parents' wishes to live a life better than their own. Let the health problems be a sign of your endurance and prove to others what you can overcome. Today is the day you prove to the world that you are someone who is capable, perseverant, and extraordinary by all means. Let this day not be the final victory, but the beginning of something greater that no one would have ever imagined. Don't let today be the summit of your aspirations. You all have the potential to go on and make your dreams come true. Today, I may be a first-generation high school graduate, but there is so much more that I want to accomplish. None of us could have gotten to where we are today without the help of others. Don't forget to thank and remember all who have helped you on your journey.
We have many students with stories similar to his. He could have made excuses and just given up.
I'm sure there were times in class where his mind is consumed with problems and frustration.
But he found a way to use his obstacles as fuel to do better and as an example of something he never wants in his own life.
Now over to sports.
Hi, I'm Logan. Boys swim and dive play Thursday against Illinois. For girls basketball, the black team plays at Mac Bay Gym on Wednesday against Hamilton, and the white teams are against Mona Shores.
Wrestling also has their first meet on Wednesday at the Harbor Lights Gym against Reese Puffer.
There are home games this Tuesday against Hudsonville, and Friday they challenge East Kentwood.
Come cheer them on and show your Panther pride.
If you're going to physical wellness next hour, some may wish that you could have your gym bag with you in class.
Does this break the school rule of no bags in class, and why do we have this rule?
Some students sent a report to find out different sides of the story.
Do you think backpacks should be allowed in class?
There is controversy about this topic. Many students disagree. We are here to get both sides of the story.
It's a rule that's been around for a long time. And since it's been in the book, that one of the things that I hear a lot from teachers is that with the size of our rooms, if all students are bringing their backpacks in, there's no space for them, and that leads to kids tripping over backpacks. They get in the way, those kinds of things.
What are some of the main reasons why we should have backpacks in class?
Well, whether or not we should is sort of up to individuals' opinions, but what I've heard people say is that it would help people in between classes get to their class sooner, so they wouldn't have to travel as far. They could just put their stuff in their backpack. And I've heard people say, well, they're going to be doing it in the high school, or they do it in the high school, so we'd be preparing students for high school. I think you would have to talk to maybe some individual students that think we should be doing this and ask them. But those are some things I've heard.
What's your opinion on the backpack rule?
I think that we should be allowed to have backpacks in class because it would be more effective because students can bring all the stuff that they need into class instead of making it drift to their locker.
I think it's easier to carry your stuff around so you don't miss anything that you have to take to class. It's more safe for us to bring our belongings to class, and we will be less late for class by like locker jams or just not being able to find what you need.
Would you allow backpacks in your room if there wasn't a rule?
I would not allow backpacks in my classroom because there are too many students and not enough space for them and their backpacks.
And I would definitely agree with that. My room is much too small to have backpacks and children.
Thank you for listening to our opinion on backpacks in class.
Many use the argument that having a bag in class would help so you don't forget things or so they don't have to go back to lockers.
Although it may be a convenience, the truth is that most classes don't have the space.
When you go to high school, you are allowed to bring bags, and sometimes it's nice to look forward to more freedoms
And responsibilities as you get older. So for now, please make sure you follow the school rules of no bags in class.
Thanks so much for watching our show. Check us out on SchoolTube and like us on Facebook.
Have a great week. Bye.